Let us try to see. Okay, Anand, one more story. Can you go set it up or you can forget it for it? It is not that. It really disturbs. Okay, once one one guru, he took his disciples. उनके कुछ शिष्य थे, गुरु थे, तो वो अपने शिष्य को लेके जंगल में दो घर थे, two houses. He took them to that two homes basically nearby. One home was very neat, very clean, very nicely arranged. Everything was very properly, placed. Cleaning was very nicely done. It was there. Whole and also on the dining table there was food available, properly cooked, nice. Everything was good. This was one home. Then they went to the next home. बाजू में एक दूसरा घर था. There everything was very shabby, unclean, dirty. It seemed almost dead, ghostly, haunted house. Everything was all, what do you say, unclean and untidy. So it's a simple thing, but the guru came out and guru asked both his disciples, the Shishya, what do you understand seeing both these houses? What a simple logic, simple conclusion. क्या समझा आपको ये दोनों घर को देख के? Any responses? अगर एक घर है बहुत अच्छा है, क्लीन है, नीट है, दूसरा घर है एकदम अनक्लीन है, अनटाइडी है, what conclusion will you draw? It's a very simple thing, but has a profound message concerning our decision. Yes, anyone? हाँ, बोलिए. Clean was unclean. Clean was unclean. I didn't get you. Sorry. Both the houses were clean. एक अच्छे से मेंटेन है, दूसरा अच्छे से मेंटेन नहीं है. अभी इसमें से इमीडिएट आपको क्या समझ में आएगा? एक में कोई रह, हाँ एक में कोई रह रहा है. हाँ वेरी गुड. एक में कोई तो रह रहा है. somebody is maintaining. अगर इतना अच्छे से मेंटेन हुआ है, क्लीन है, इसका मतलब कोई तो वहाँ पे रहता है. आपको पता नहीं बट कोई तो है. Somebody is maintaining that. Correct? कोई तो some person is there maintaining, कुछ इंटेलिजेंस बुद्धि लगा रहा है कोई. दूसरा घर है वहाँ कोई नहीं है, कुछ सालों से बंद पड़ा है, जो भी है, इसलिए it's unclean and not maintained. Correct? It's a simple thing. Now I told you this very simple thing. Now look at the world around us. This world, this creation. If you understand this one and story, you understand today's session, what we are going to discuss. If we see this world, is this world lively or it is dead? No, what we are meant by lively is, it is well maintained. There are laws which are governing everything. There are systems. There is there is a cycle by which, like for example, so many things I can say, but there is a cycle of season. Right time, rain season will come. Then there is summer season, winter season. Okay, winter season, certain fruits will grow. And if you know Ayurveda well, what grows in that season is the best for the body. Okay, then summer season, certain fruits will grow. And there is a massive system for transporting water which is not drinkable, not potable. That water is transported to Hyderabad city, which is thousands of miles away from the sea. For all of us, there is sun, which is very, very essential for life. But then if the sun rays come directly, then they burn our skin. So there is a layer called ozone layer, which filter the sun rays, and then we get only the essential part of the sun. There are minerals, there are fruits and trees which are. This is a home. Does it look like somebody has done some arrangement for us to be here? Or everything came just by chance? Yes, सब कुछ by chance. By chance, earth has come. By chance, so much of variety of vegetation has come. By chance, the season, the by chance, everything has come by chance. What sounds more logical? Someone is behind, some intelligence is put behind this creation. Does that sound logical? Or It's all by chance. कुछ तो some sport, bomb sport. Something happened in the beginning of creation billions of years before, and gradually, everything started in the probability, which is 0.000001% probability or something. The world has come to be what it is. You got what I'm saying? What do you feel is the most logical explanation of this creation? First or second? इतना सोच में पड़ गया सब हाँ पहला पहला ठीक लग रहा है just like you say the example of that home. If I tell you कि नहीं ये तो घर तो ऐसे ही by some probability it is clean, कोई डर नहीं है नहीं somebody is doing it, कुछ तो बुद्धि कुछ तो intelligence इसमें है, right? So like that, when we look at this world, we see clouds are shouting, sun is shining, grains are growing, flowers are blooming, fruits are ripening, mountains. So all these things, we are just observers. We don't do it. Is any one of us is doing it? Then who is that? Who set the systems? So this is the crux of today's discussion. If we just observe this world, because see, people say very easily, oh, yeah, I can believe in God if I can see God. Very nice, logical. I can believe in something which I can see. चीज हमको दिखता नहीं है लेकिन वो है. कौन सा एग्जांपल दिया था? माला का. Some garland or a necklace, and there is a thread. Thread दिखता नहीं है. Right? I am wearing a माला. यहाँ thread नहीं दिखता है. मणि ही दिखता है. लेकिन thread है कि नहीं है? Why? How? You can't see, no? How can you say thread is there? Because it is all holding together very nicely. It's not falling apart. वैसे ही अगर ये if you see this world, this creation, it is not falling apart. What is holding it? And this is what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. He says, this is how you can see me. By inference. If you don't have qualification, you can't see me directly. If we have qualification, we can see. And what is that qualification, we'll talk about later. But right now we can understand, okay, we don't have qualification, but can we see God? Yes, we can see God in His creation. Like again, same example, I'm repeating so that you are, like if you go to home, similar example, you go home like a child, he goes home and mommy is not there. But the food is kept nicely, uske, what he likes is there, water is kept, his bedding is set. So he concludes, who has done it? So when we look at this world, it is so amazing. किसने करके रखा है हमारे लिए ये सब arrangement? I was once meeting one scientist. I don't know if you are aware, Professor Jayant, famous scientist, cosmologist, astronomist, very famous in evolution and all. So I had an opportunity to meet him. In his book, he writes, Earth is tilted. The science little bit. Earth is not, straight like this. Earth is tilted. One thing is it is rotating again around sun, and it is tilted a little. And the seasons and all they happen because of the tilt of Earth. Yes, so sabko pata basic science. In his book he writes, Jayant narrator, he says, the tilt of Earth is so precise. If it is little bit more tilt or less tilt, अगर वो angle जो है ना, the angle का measurement होता है minutes and seconds. If you know the basic of the mathematics. So he says even a little few seconds more tilt to Earth, then life cannot exist on the planet. तो जो tilt है Earth का बहुत specifically, it's very properly. अभी ये सब by chance हो गए. This is science. You read scientists saying this is tilt. If a little more tilt, either we'll burn or we'll freeze to death. We can't exist on this planet. इतना precise, जो है creation, ये कहाँ से आया? किसी ने बुद्धि लगाया कि नहीं लगाया इसके पीछे? यही हमारा आज का डिस्कशन है. Okay? Should we go and get into? अभी I have given the basic, so we'll rush through this, not spend much time. We have to complete this session today. Okay. So, ultimate genius. Is there ultimate genius in this world? So, when we observe the world around us, scientifically, we can see hand of supreme intelligent designer. हम ही हमारे आंखों से देख सकते हैं भगवान को जब हम ये क्रिएशन को देखते हैं. अभी आप क्या ऑब्जर्वेशन? So by observation, systematic and harmonious universe around us, we may get many questions. So you know the study of universe is called as what? Anybody? What is that science stream which is called as study of the universe? Cosmology. 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 You know the word cosmos? अगर आप उसका डिक्शनरी मीनिंग देखोगे, cosmos means orderly universe. There is an order. Yes, there is. In this universe, everything is orderly actually. And this is what we have studied in science. Law of gravitation, law of planetary motion, law of electromagnetism, law of... Okay. तो सब लॉस है ना. इवन इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है एटम में वो भी एक लॉ से चल रहा है और प्लैनेट्स भी लॉ से मूव हो रहे हैं. सो एवरीथिंग इज गवर्न्ड बाय लॉज. सो साइंस इज डिस्कवरिंग दोज लॉज, बट हु इज मेकिंग दोज लॉज? जैसे अभी आप रास्ते पे जाएंगे तो आप कौन सा डायरेक्शन, इफ यू आर वॉकिंग तो कौन से साइड में चलेंगे? लेफ्ट की राइट? आपका बताइए, आपका लेफ्ट. ठीक है, जो भी. अगर अमेरिका में है तो उल्टा है. यू नो, अभी ये लॉ है. ये किसने बनाया? गवर्नमेंट हैज टोल्ड यहाँ से ट्रैफिक ऐसे जाएगा, यू वॉक ऑन दिस साइड, रेड सिग्नल दिखा तो रुक जाओ, ग्रीन दिखा तो जाओ. दिस इज अ लॉ व्हिच वी फॉलो. गुड. दिस लॉ इज मेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट or police or whatever, and we follow it. Now one thing is to know the law, which is good, but also another thing is to know the law maker. Is there a law maker or not? Like logically there should be a law maker. अच्छा, इतना precise, इतना orderly universe कि ये law हमेशा follow होते हैं precisely. I mean, Newton has given law maybe probably 300 years before, 400 years before. बट अभी भी वो लॉ वैसा ही फॉलो होता है. ऐसा नहीं कि सडनली कुछ 10 मिनट के लिए ग्रेविटेशन लॉ हुआ ही नहीं फॉलो. ऐसा हो गया तो सब लोग लटकेंगे हवा में. हम लोग, यू नो, वी कांट सिट डाउन हियर, वी विल बी फ्लोटिंग इन द एयर फॉर 10 मिनट्स. ऐसा होता ही नहीं है. तो कितना एवरीथिंग, सन द सेटिंग टाइम एंड राइजिंग टाइम, राइट नाउ यू कैन प्रेडिक्ट आफ्टर 100 ईयर एग्जैक्ट डेट कि आज से 100 साल के बाद उस डेट पे सन कब उगेगा और कब सूर्यास्त होगा. अभी हम प्रेडिक्ट कर सकते हैं. होता है कि नहीं? आप अभी देखेंगे आपके वो वेबसाइट्स में भी आता है, you can see 25 years, you can put a date and they will give you exact. ये कैलकुलेशन है मींस लॉ है. लॉ है मींस कोई तो लॉ मेकर भी है. नहीं तो ये लॉ आए कहां से? सब बाय चांस. साइंस has only one answer to this. By some minute probability, everything so wonderful has come into existence. By chance it has happened. So let us see some more questions. Does God exist? Who creates and maintains this beautiful and harmonious universe? Okay, your observation. See, so these are the things we are going to see. I'll rush, as I said. One by one we'll take. So when you see these beautiful pictures, sorry. These are very beautiful pictures. The famous one, like the first one, mostly everyone knows. What is that? Mona Lisa. So, what is the first question comes to your mind when you see a nice picture, a painting, a nice painting? What do you think first? Who's the artist? Who's the artist? Right? Mona Lisa. Who has painted? Leonardo da Vinci. Then other artists. So, any art needs a artist, right? That's the logic. Now, what about this art? These are not paintings, these are actual pictures. But this is also art. Who's the artist for this? Okay, let me. If I have a we have nice rose, right? If you have an artificial rose, I don't have right now, but you can consider artificial rose. If you have an artificial rose, the first question comes to our mind is, who has made it? Somebody has to make it. But if I give another actual rose, it is much better to the artificial one. It is, it is very fine in texture. It has smell, beautiful fragrance. It has pollens, right? So the artificial one cannot come by chance. It needs creator. We think like that. Then what about natural one? Does it need creator or not? It needs. So once, this Sir Isaac Newton, very famous God for scientific scientists. Isaac Newton was a believer of God actually. So once his one friend, his atheist friend, he had atheist means non-believer, somebody who not believe in God. So Newton did a trick with him. This is there in his biography, if you can read. So once this friend came to his home, Newton was not there. But on a table, there was a nice model of solar system. It was like simple model, sun and the planets, and there were crankshaft, this pulley and kind of. So if you rotate that, then the planets were going around, and it's a nice model. It was made and kept. So this friend scientist, he came and he was seeing it. Newton was not there. So he started rotating and we saw everything. He was very impressed. Very nice model. After some time, Newton came. So Newton said, okay, how are you? Wonderful, pleasant. Then he asked this scientist friend, he asked Newton, this is very nice model of solar system. Who has made? How did you get? Who made it? Newton said, actually nobody made it. There was some wood lying in my terrace. There was some paint in neighbor's home. And there was some iron and all lying 2 kilometers away. And suddenly in the morning there was some sound of blast. And I got up and I saw everything came together and this was made. So then this scientist friend, he said, people call this, पहले तो बोला आज क्या था क्या है बाहर कुछ पी के वगैरह है क्या हुआ we're talking all nonsense. The whole world calls you Sir Isaac Newton, right? Sir. And you're talking nonsense. ऐसे कैसे होता है क्या ऐसे कि कुछ यहाँ पे लकड़ी पड़ा था, वहाँ पे पेंट पड़ा था, ब्लास्ट हो गया, सब साथ में आके सब ये बन गया. So somebody has to make it so nice, so organized, so nice it is. Then what Newton said shook him. He said, if you can't believe that this simple model of solar system has come by chance, if you can't believe it, how do you say that the actual solar system, which is billion times more bigger and complex than this model, that has come by chance? That doesn't need a creator. And then this friend was, taken aback. He was put to thought. He said, yeah, definitely. So when we see, so the first thing here we saw is an art needs artist. You see so many beautiful paintings here. Somebody has drawn it. Any art for that matter needs an artist. So we see this word is beautiful art also. You go to nice mountains, you see a beautiful art. So this is the art of God. Who is that intelligent creator? So artistry implies artist, right? Second, beautiful organization implies organizer. If there is an organization, something is organized, like here things are a little organized. So then there is somebody who has done it, right? So there is a person, organizer required. Like I'll show you a few videos today.
Bees are called social insects because they live and work together as a community. Thousands of female bees, called worker bees, lived together in a hive with a queen bee. The queen bee was marked with a red dot, so we can see her better. The worker bees are all females, but they almost never lay eggs. Worker bees do almost all the chores in the hive. They gather pollen or nectar, guard the entrance, clean the hive, build the comb, make honey, tend the queen, and feed the larvae. They even fan the hive with their wings to keep it cool on a hot summer day.
So there, you saw this video. There is a very, very beautiful organization in these bees. There is a queen bee. There are many other servant bees. And as the video was saying, I don't repeat. The servant bees do wonderful organization of that hive. And the queen bee is tended. So queen bee is like the leader. Right. Now, these bees, what kind of brain they have? Probably they don't have also, maybe. Who gave them this intelligence to organize so nicely? Is there organization in nature or not? First of all, nature is very organized. In bees, even if this is sometimes ants, that is very easy to observe how organized they are. They also communicate messages. Now, if I put some sugar here, just keep it lying for 5 minutes. Immediately they will come. From where do they get that intelligence? The message, so many thousands of ants. So the nature is very organized. So who is the organizer? Where have they got? They have learned all these things, right? Okay. Regarding bees, one interesting thing. Bees, especially the honey bees. This is the only way to get natural honey from bees. How much ever scientists try from these flowers, we can't get honey. You know this. The only way to get honey is the bee has to go take that honey from where they get that honey in that flower, we don't know. We have such technology, such machinery, such thing. Some artificial stuff we can get, but that is natural, pure, shuddha honey, madhu. Only bees can get it. Who gave them that intelligence? Definitely not us. Okay, there is spider. There's one more video of the spider. It's interesting.
Mathematician spiders. Compared to their own sizes, spiders build very large webs. Indeed, if we enlarged a spider to the size of a human being, the length of the web it weaves would be approximately 150 meters, which corresponds to a 50-story skyscraper. Is it possible for a human being to weave a waistcoat the size of a 50-story skyscraper in only an hour? But a tiny spider accomplishes much more than that. Moreover, the spider-woven web is the sturdiest material in the world. How do spiders weave these webs possessing miraculous features? The spider takes into consideration many factors while weaving a web, hundreds of times larger than its own size. This task demands at least some calculations essential when constructing a building. For the accomplishment of this work, first the spider must draw a project like an architect, for a construction of this size, design, and sturdiness cannot be accomplished without an architectural project. Once the project is drawn, the spider must calculate the lifting capacity of each part of the web like an engineer, otherwise the web cannot remain suspended. In order to design such a web and make such delicate calculations, the spider must be more qualified than a college graduate. Indeed, there is not a university that provides education to the offspring. Following their birth, they begin to produce silk, weave the...
I hope you understood. I will send those videos maybe again on the group. He says, the complexity of that wave, studied the spider has to at least have a bachelor's degree in engineering to design that web. but they don't do the college. So how's that intelligent? It's such a precise thing. Anyways, and we can't spend so much time. We'll send those videos to you later. So a beautiful organization implies an organizer. Agree? All right. So who's that organizer behind all this organization? Likewise, we see wonderful things created by man. For example, sleek cars, someone manufactured. Or trendy computers, someone assembled, right? Elegant watches, someone designed. Architecture marvels, someone erected. कोई तो है ना? ये सब के पीछे कोई तो किसने की है? Scientist है, engineer है, construction worker, somebody, skyscraper, someone built it. Or wonderful sculpture, and someone carved it. So shouldn't this universe have a super intelligent creator too? कोई भी creation होता है. If I have this mobile, there's a creator behind, a group of creators, maybe scientists or engineers. But somebody created this, right? Now it may be working automatically, it feels like automatic, but there is a program, there is a creation. Like someone who don't know, if there is a villager, uneducated villager, who never knows mobile, he sees and then he says, what is it? He says, oh, this has come by chance. You will laugh at it because there is a creator, right? So for this creation also there should be logical. ये सब हम logic बात कर रहे हैं. Yeah, logically, do we need a creator or not? There should be a creator, right? To this. Okay, some more examples. You know this tree called a sequoia tree. It has a very small seed, a few centimeters, not even centimeters, millimeters, 1 centimeter or something. That is the size of the seed. Okay. And when the seed is planted, the tree becomes one of the largest trees in the world. So I will show you some pictures. This is the tree. You see here people sitting? Or maybe I can show you another one. Here is a man. This is the tree. The tree has come from that small seed which is a few millimeters. Okay. See, this is the one. The whole car can pass through it. This is sequoia tree. So giant tree is packaged in a tiny seed. Right? So how many here software engineers? Any? Two? Okay. Right? So you have the chips getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So the size of devices is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. Right? Earlier big computers. Now it's big. A laptop and a palm top and a finger top and got it. No, because it needs a lot of intelligence to pack all that data and make that chip. Am I correct? So who has made this chip called seed of a sequoia tree? A small seed has so much data and so much information, the whole tree comes out of it. Such a huge giant tree. Is there no intelligence required? Okay, let's talk about human brain. So there is this MD, doctor, author of The Brain, Richard Respect. He says, the human brain can store more information than all the libraries in the world. That is the capacity of the human brain. Actually, if you have studied little, actually we don't use our brain fully. And most of the time we don't use it. Right? That's why this is most uncommon thing in the world. Common sense. Right? Most uncommon. It's common sense. It's most uncommon. That means we don't use. We just leave mindlessly or breathless. But anyway, even if we use whatever little bit actually it is very less. I don't remember the figures, but even Einstein it said that only a part of brain he used. It's not full capacity of brain. Just think about the marvel called human brain. And for that matter, everything in human body is also a miracle. Every part of your body is a miracle. Right? Eyes, such a complex system. If you have little biology background, so complex. We can define nerves and this and that and so many complex things. I would not even remember the names actually. So difficult to pronounce and so complex. And how does it all function? Very tough, very complex, right? To study one part of our body, it takes years for doctors, right? That's why they are specialists. After studying for 20, 30 years, they become specialists of one part of the body. That means think about what complexity each part of the body has. And then it all has come by some chance. There is no intelligence required to create this. That's the point. So the brain. Okay. Video here. You can't read this. I think difficult, no? I'll skip this and send this on the group. You can look at it later. The point is, brain is a complex system. For that matter, many organs, every organ in the body is a complex. Okay, let's go to the micro world. Micro, small, right? So I think you have in the chemistry of your 10th standard or you have studied this Bravais lattice structures, so different structures of lattices. Remember a little bit something, right? So this is all same atoms, this is the same element. You change the atom structure, the lattice structure, and altogether a different atom. Like, graphite, that is coal, and diamond. It is both carbon only. Okay, carbon. Only difference is the structure of how the atoms are arranged, the lattice structure. So where is carbon? I mean the graphite useless actually in one sense, and where is diamond so useful? It's the same substance. Now how a little change in the molecules makes so there is a meticulous design in the micro world. Now it doesn't happen that something in between has half diamond, half graphite. All graphite has a particular alignment of all the molecules. Diamonds have particular alignments. Who has done it? Okay. Now to the macro world. Micro means very small, macro means very big. Satellites. You probably have seen NASA or ISRO sending satellite and how much that control room. Have you seen that picture? Thousands of, literally hundreds and thousands of scientists sitting and monitoring different parameters. Here are some parameters. Critical parameters to monitor. Orientation, speed, velocity, this, that. And many scientists for years they have to keep on working. And that satellite is just a small, probably a few kgs of satellite to keep it in the orbit to it should not fall. So much of intelligence is required. Now what about this? The earth is also floating. It is 6 into 10 raised to power 21 metric tons, not few kgs. And it is moving with the speed of 106,000 kilometers per hour. We are moving with this speed right now. You can find out per second, I forgot. Any one of you feeling that we are actually moving with this speed? See the creation. How amazing this is. And this figure actually shows the kind of, what you can say, the kind of obstacles, the kind of I forgot a word for it. So much of disturbances which the earth has to face. There are solar radiations, there's solar wind, there is bow shocks, photons, there's magnetosphere, shock waves, so many things which are keep on hitting earth. In spite of that, it is in the orbit. It is so much in orbit. I told you about the tilt. It never, the tilt also doesn't change. Never the speed reduces. Never, that there is some, कि आज तो थोड़ा एक दिन अर्थ did move only. खत्म हो जाएंगे सब. You forget one day, even 1 minute, if there is a disturbance in Earth's rotation, everything will be. So who's creating? Who is in control? NASA ने बनाया कोई सॉफ्टवेयर अर्थ के लिए? नहीं. ISRO definitely not. So who is in control? If a traffic policeman controls signal of traffic, who controls the traffic of human planets? Any इतने सारे planets है. Ever we heard the two planets collided? आज गलती से जुपिटर आ गया सामने हमारे अर्थ के. उनका भी ऑर्बिट है. And as I said, जुपिटर का भी आप लोग अभी से प्रेडिक्ट कर सकते हैं कि 100 साल के बाद इस दिन जुपिटर कहाँ रहेगा. 23rd February 3047 पे 12 बजे जुपिटर का लोकेशन क्या रहेगा आज ही प्रेडिक्ट कर सकते हैं. इतना प्रेडिक्टेबल है वर्ल्ड. Who made this? रैंडम, सब रैंडम चल रहा है. बिग बैंग स्पोर्ट हुआ और सब बन गया. That is the question. We should think about this. We should really think about it. So I'm just putting you to thought. Okay, that's the whole session today. Lot of facts and putting you to thought. So marvelous designs in nature. Okay, this one a very interesting video. I want all of you to pay attention to this particular video.
Around 1200 AD, a man named Leonard Pisano, better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21, the sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence or blueprint appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe from the tiny flower to the awe-inspiring galaxy, we see the fingerprint of God.
The fingerprint of God. Very interesting. So I hope you understood the Fibonacci sequence, right? You can again see this video. Every, what can I say, from gigantic solar, from the solar system, from the galaxy to the smallest sunflower you see, or the waves, it's all that mathematically is Fibonacci sequence. It's mapped. So, is it all by chance? So they call this video as the signature of God. Because sometimes, when you create some painting, then people put signature below, or you write something, put signature. Like that, is it like, the creator has put some signature? Think about this. So, an intelligent design implies a designer. when we see some nice design of anything, we say, oh, there has to be a designer behind it. So now who is the designer? Okay, last one. Energy of the sun. Okay, this I'll skip with less time. This suffice to say this much. Energy emitted by sun per second is more than the energy human race have consumed till now. जितना एनर्जी हमने अभी तक कंज्यूम किया है उससे ज्यादा एनर्जी एक सेकंड में सन से निकलता है. So when we see energy, it implies energetic. जैसे अगर there is a glass here, if suddenly, I hope, pray it doesn't happen, but suddenly some ball comes and hits the glass, cricket ball, what will be our first question? किसने मारा, who's that, right? We'll go and find out who's that. That means that energy, but the ball was given by somebody. Again. So similarly, who has given this energy to the sun? Let's see. Okay, one interest. In 1 second, our sun produces enough energy to meet the current needs of entire Earth for 5 lakh years. There is energy crisis, right? 1 second से जितना energy निकलता है सन से 5 lakh years will not have any crisis. So what kind of creation is this? Amazing, right? Okay. This is the example I was giving. If somebody throws a stone and hits your screen, then first you will ask, who's that person? Right? So energy actually implies energetic. Energy is not coming by chance. There is a person who is giving that energy. So who's that in this case? Okay. Look at the world around you. There are laws. So this I have already discussed. I'll rush through it. Like I already discussed with this. There is laws in cricket, right? People like so much. So laws are made by ISKCON, International Cricket Team. There is this periodic table, Pendel's periodic table. Right? So there are laws, periodic law, not periodic chance. Did we say periodic law or periodic chance? Law. That means, as I said, everything is governed by law. Or our Mr. Newton, you see him there, apple falling on his head. Right? So he found out this law. But he just found out the law. Did Newton made the law? He just discovered the law. So who made the law? Laws of optics, laws of mechanics, laws of thermodynamics, so many laws. Micro world there are laws, macro world there are laws, precise laws. So precise that we can mathematically predict accuracy. So accurate. So flawless laws means there has to be a lawmaker. In this world we see there are laws that कोई तो किसी तो बनाया है, right? Okay. Also we see in this world some people are beautiful, some are ugly, some are handsome, some are not so handsome, some are stinking rich, some are poverty-stricken, some becomes very educated and very successful, some are laborers, not so educated. Now who decides? Is it, if everything in this world is governed by law, this is by chance or this is also by law? This also should be some law should be there. Now you see, even electron, proton, atom, planets, this fan, everything has a law. But this is by chance? No. Even the kind of work we get is by law. That law is called as, okay, we choose education, job, husband or wife, car. Few things in life we choose. There are some things we don't choose in life. For example, parents, our face cut, your intelligence, we didn't choose it. We can't, I want to look like Shah Rukh Khan, I can't. It's just not possible. It's what we have got. Now, who chose this? I didn't choose it. And is it by chance? No, there is also a law. So that law is called as the result of one's work. The soul is awarded in the body. There is law of karma, about which we will speak later. But I'm just giving you an idea that how everything is governed by laws. Okay, we have spent a lot of time here. So scientist observations, I'll quickly rush through this. Even great scientists, like this is Einstein, the Lord God is subtle, but malicious he is not. So some great scientists say, actually, I'll read one of the quotes of one scientist who says, if you actually go deeper in science, you will discover God. Only those who are, very superficial, they feel, oh, there is no God. If you really think, science itself will force you to think there is God. Like for example, Newton, the branch of his is called as calculus. His field. Calculus, calculus means calculus has come from calculi, Greek term. It is called as fables. Its meaning of that is fable. Fable means fable means some stones lying on the shore of ocean. So why Newton gave that name to that branch of science, mathematics? He said, see, what we are doing is basically, it's like picking some pebbles and trying to analyze it. And God has created this universe. We are like small children picking up some pebbles. That's why you would call it calculus. He called it calculus. So like that, the true scientists actually they were believers of God. They would think, like we will see. Like this one, I skip Schrodinger. I will send you this very interesting quote by Schrodinger. But right now time is less. There's another one. Kelvin. If you think strongly enough, you will be forced by science to believe in God. Science will force you to believe in God if you think deeply. Newton's story I already told you. The most beautiful system of the sun, planets, comets could only proceed from counsel and dominion of intelligent and powerful being. This being governs all things, not as the soul of the world, but as Lord over all. And on account of his dominion, he is called as Lord God, universal ruler. Basically, he's saying is there is a intelligent being who has done this. Okay, Max Born. Then this is interesting. Srinivas Ramanujan. He says an equation for me has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God. What is an equation? It's a thought of God. He says. Very interesting. Okay. So like that, many great scientists. Right now, I will skip this. But they also believe. This is also scientists believing the Creator. Now we are again. I am not going to the discussion of who is that God and all. Right? But there is a Creator. There is an intelligent designer to this world. Whose God is God? Okay. So there are $1 million questions. Be ready to answer. Okay. Ready? Okay. Lock your jaw. We'll ask you this. $1 million you are going to get. The questions are: what is the origin of the universe? Big Bang, chance, intelligent design. Intelligent design. There you go. $1 million sheet here. So we give you an imagination. Correct. But we are going to give some gifts to those who answer the quiz. Some of you have been answering. I was told that it's wonderful. Actually, you are taking time and answering those quiz. We are very happy. We are going to give you some prizes. I hope so. And what is the purpose? Now, yes.
To understand God and life.
Yeah. Very good. A big round of applause. Your name? Arnav. So, big round of applause for Arnav. Yes. So the purpose. So why we are talking about this universe? Yeah, because we also nothing happens. Nothing comes without. Did you see a creation, a meaningful creation without purpose? कोई क्रिएशन है ऐसा कोई ये बनाया है पर्पस नहीं वैसे ही बना दिया चेयर बनाया कुछ तो पर्पस है ना हर एक चीज का पर्पस है सो ये विश्व का इतना सुंदर है इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स है इतना अच्छा है इसका भी कोई पर्पस है क्या है इसका पर्पस है टू अंडरस्टैंड गॉड एंड लाइफ दैट्स व्हाई दिस यूनिवर्स इज है ना देयर वाज अ सॉन्ग आई डोंट नो सम ऑफ यू कैन रिलेट आल्सो ओल्डर गाइस दुनिया बनाने वाले हाँ? काहे को दुनिया बनाए, इसको ये हमारे सेशन में आना चाहिए वो लिखने वाले को, क्यों बनाई दुनिया? टू नो हु यू आर, टू नो हु इज गॉड, टू नो आवर रिलेशनशिप विद गॉड, and to ultimately go back to him. This is the purpose. I have told you in one line, but obviously I will explain in further sessions what does it mean. Every one of these things has a big session. Okay, so we'll talk about it. But yeah, there is a purpose behind this. So these are the $1,000,000 questions. So no machine, nothing comes by chance. A big bang or big bang. So Big Bang theory. Okay, I have to end it now. But this is a very a very comedy theory actually. Sorry for this. I'll read something. Where is that? I think I have put it. According to the Big Bang theory, ऊपर देखिए. Everything began from a point of infinite temperature, infinite density, infinitesimal size, that is physically indescribable, mathematically unverifiable, beyond all conceptions of space and time. This is the only origin of this universe and all of us. This is called as singularity. If you have read this, this is what scientists believe. The most intelligent, most, they call themselves great. They believe in this. And there is a point. How did it all begin? There was a point called as singularity. That point was infinite temperature. Now, what do you mean by infinite temperature? Okay, infinite temperature, infinite density, infinitesimal size. Infinitesimal is so small you can't describe. Then mathematically unverifiable, physically undescribable, beyond all conceptions of time and space. This singularity blasted, and then the universe came about. Now, what looks more logical? To believe in this, or to believe that there is a creator, intelligent creator who has created all this? Now, when we say God, the so-called scientists of this world, they say, oh, this is not a very intelligent argument. But is their argument very intelligent? So, we have been buying a lot of stuff from scientists just like that without putting our head and logic. So now is the time to really think. Our scriptures, our culture, tradition, we are very, very scientific, very logical. And we're going to talk about in the next session the knowledge in Vedas. And you will be amazed the kind of knowledge is there in our Vedas. We are going to give you the scientific, now they are discovering it. NASA is having a Vedic study department. That is the knowledge which we have. But we were made a fool to think that, that is great and this is something mythical and not so important. Anyway, so this is not Big Bang. Big Brain is the creator of everything. Big Brain, that is God. Okay, so now I will, in the interest of time, skip this activity. I'll just show you the essence of this activity. We don't have time to go through this. So just like in the government, there are different ministries. There is Home Ministry, Health Ministry, Energy, Finance, Defense. Government में सारे ministers हैं. If you look at the world around, also there are different departments. There are, like there is a Home Ministry. Home Ministry का क्या होता है? Law and order. If you do something wrong, punishment will be there. Right? You break the law, you get punishment. In nature also this law is there. Illicit sex, AIDS. Smoking, cancer. Drinking, liver problem. Do something wrong, get reaction. Do good. Good means, okay, you do yoga, good health. Do Surya Namaskar, benefited. Good things, follow the law, you get reward. Break the law, you get punishment. अभी लगता है कोई तो कंट्रोल कर रहा है कि नहीं? Okay. Health Ministry, गवर्नमेंट में वैसे यहाँ पे क्या है? यूनिवर्सल गवर्नमेंट में आयुर्वेदा herbs, who has created? Practically, if you know, Ayurveda has solution to many complex problems. Nowadays they are discovering that. Ayurveda, every kind of ailment we have in body, disease we can have, there is a herb, medicine available in the nature itself. Who gave that? Ministry of Energy, then we have Sun and Moon. Finance, so there is also gold, silver, diamond. already a lot of wealth is given in the nature, so that we can transact that wealth and run the show, right? Defense ministry, so we have ozonosphere, immunity in the body. Actually, body only fights any disease, which is support, right? Education ministry, so we have been given Vedas, Bible, Quran, all wisdom literature, word of God. So you see how very nicely we have been taken care. So behind every government there is a prime minister. Behind universal government there is God. Prime minister maintains, controls the country. God maintains and controls the whole universe. Government law abiders live happily, lawbreakers are punished. Similarly, God's law abiders live prosperously and lawbreakers suffer. This is what we learn from this. And this is the verse I was talking about towards the end. I am coming to the end. This is, you can repeat. Mattah parataram nanya kimchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. See what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.7. सूत्रे मणिगणा इव. जैसे एक सूत्र में मणि है, और जो सूत्र हमको दिखता नहीं है लेकिन सूत्र है, सूत्र है धागा या थ्रेड, वैसे ही आप मुझे देख सकते हैं इस दुनिया में. You can't see me directly, but you can see from the universe, from the creation, from your own body, from the world around you. You can see I exist. Like that Lord Krishna says. How we can see him is by inference. And our prime duty, last one, I'll just end. So what is our duty after understanding this? Use our intelligence to appreciate the great creation of God. That is how science is not bad. We are not against science at all. We are using science, we are using technology. It's very good. But it should not stand against God. It should enhance. Actually, that is how science was before 18th century. The scientists would consider themselves worshipper of God. Worshipping God with intelligence is science. So, like I said, Newton. No, he was so happy. I am just discovering the great creation of my Father, God. And I am happy. What a great person my Father God is. That is wonderful. So we should appreciate the creation of God with our intelligence. Nothing wrong in that. It's wonderful. But when we say, oh, nothing, God is not, as soon as you say God, it's not scientific. That is then wrong. To unfold mysteries of God's creation through science and glorify God. And use science, use your intelligence, use the research and technology and everything to glorify God. That is wonderful. Nothing wrong. Like we are using technology, using laptop, using TV, projector, mobile, full technology, full use for glorification of God. That is perfect. To understand and explain the purpose of God's creation, which is to love God and to love all. And on this, we are going to have a full session. What is the purpose of this creation? We are going to discuss elaborately. And to utilize everything for pleasure of God and welfare of all. Thank you very much. This is the summary. You can please go through quickly. We have seen our observation. Artistry implies artist. Organization implies organizer. Creation implies creator. We saw that. So that's a logical, indirect way of understanding God's. In the scientist observation, we saw. Then $2 million questions we saw. National government was and then trying to cover it. Thank you very much. Sorry for a little late, but I stop here. Do you have any questions? Open for that. So before we take up questions, we are going to hand over gifts for the prize winners. So just wait for 1 minute. We'll hand over the gifts quiz, and then we can take questions and then.
Manisha Mataji. Okay. Mohini Mataji. She scored 10 out of 10. All questions she got there. Haribo. Vishal Barnwal. Pawanji.
Just one.
Pawanji. Babluji. Okay. Krishna Vedi Mataji. Krishna Vedi Mataji. No. Anna Varun. Okay. Okay. Nilima Mataji is Nidhi Mataji. Nilesh Prabhu. And Siddhi Mataji is Dipanshu Jindal. Name. Okay, so thank you. Everyone can participate enthusiastically. We'll have more games.
After every session, there is a quiz to attempt. Also, we are going to get some gift for sure. Okay, questions.
When we have they give us prepare one.
Prepare.
Government will set a laws, and if I make a mistake, I'll be punished.
Yes.
But in real world, like there is one person who is planting the plants and one is who is cutting. But when it comes to the results, both people will be suffering. It is good or bad. Why is so? So
Can you repeat the later part of one is
one
planting
person
and one is
who is
cutting?
yes. But when it comes to the results, let it be pollution or whatever it is, the impact will remain the same. So the person who is planting.
Okay. You need to say that even good people suffer
Yes.
for the
Yes.
like that?
Yes.
Okay. It's a good question. Yeah. There is no blind justice in the eyes of God. For this, definitely we have to understand law of karma a little more intricately. But to be brief, what comes our way, is definitely what we deserve. There is no blind system. There is a proper organization. Now, to give an example, I'm thinking, like I remember hearing, I had seen that maybe you have seen sometimes such videos also. There was a tsunami in India some years back, and there was, it happened that whole home was collapsed and everyone died. In that one, there was a video on TV. Only one 6 months old child was survived. Many times in earthquake, it happens that, like again, one more true story in the attack on the Twin Towers in US, New York. There's one lady who would work there. She has been there day in, day out for years. Only that day, just few minutes before she had ran. For some reason, she just went out, which she would not generally do. And she survived, and so many people who would never come, they came that day and they died. Now, so such kind of things, actually, if you understand the law of karma, it is those who deserve, they all come together to get this kind of reaction. It is not blind. And somebody who is part of that situation, that environment, but he doesn't deserve that reaction, would somehow be out of that scene that day or that time. So the point in general to tell you is, there is no this kind of blind punishment. If we have come to this world in this time, we are facing this kind of pollution and this kind of situation by other beings, definitely a part of this we also deserve. But if we act properly now, we'll have a bright future.
So if you're saying that these things are like, for example, this 9/11, that lady, she wasn't there, but other people were there. So that means God was aware that this is going to happen.
Yes.
Right? So why we are blaming somebody else?
No. See, it is not that God has arranged. God is a facilitator to our desires. The ultimate responsibility lies with God is a sanctioner or facilitator. So I was quoting that song, Kahe Ko Duniya Lagaye. Actually, God has created this. This world is not required if we don't want it. So we are going to discuss about it again. So we have some desires, and there is something called karma. So desire and deserve. If you have desire and if you deserve it, then God sanctions it. And there are some mischievous living beings also in this world. To them also God may sanction their mischief. There is no flaw in His creation, but some like there were Ravana and their circumstances. They wanted to be like this. So So God has to allow them to be like this. Although He may come and kill them, but He allows them, and He also allows them a chance to reform also. But then there are people who want to be unruly, and God allows them. But there is no blind killing. It's a very intricate thing actually. When it comes to karma, we'll have a full session about it. Lord Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Gahana karma dadi. He says, what is this verse? Akarmanasya bodhavyo gahana karma dadi. So he says, Gahana karma dadi. Gahan means very difficult to understand. Karmana dadi. Karma is how they work. It is as much as like if you get a malaria, somebody gets malaria and he says, no, where is that mosquito who bite me? When? Where? How difficult it is to find out. Like that, when this karma, Krishna says very difficult to find out, what karmas are coming together. It's a complex system. But one thing for sure, he says, there is no blind justice like that. There is no, kind of unorderliness. It is all happening with. To give an example, Dhritarashtra in Mahabharata. You may know this. Dhritarashtra asked this question after the war of Mahabharata. That why I have to suffer this killing of 100 sons, I have to suffer. So then Vyasadeva tells him that you had killed 50 lifetimes before you had killed, boiled eggs or, you had given that suffering, so you had to get the reaction. Then he is put to thought, but why 50 lifetimes before? Why the reaction is coming now? So then he says, because to get 100 sons you need punya. And you have to spend 50 lifetimes to get that punya. So now it is so intricate. Now after 50 lifetimes he got 100 sons because of the punya he got. And then he got the reaction which is 51st lifetime before. And then the sons were killed. So like that, what happens, it's not very easy, it's a very complex equation. You can't just threadbare it very easily and say, okay, this is how it is. Yeah, in a very simplistic manner we can understand, but it's complex. But one thing we can definitely say, I'm going to talk about it in karma session. We are going to discuss that whatever we have done, every action has a reaction to this world for sure. You can't escape it. That is for sure. Good action will also have reaction, bad action will also have reaction. And then they will have complex situations, how good and bad come together, it's amalgamation of all this and it will be delivered, which lifetime also will know. And I know it's a very interesting topic and there would be n number of questions on karma. We have a full session on it because many things will come up in this discussion. We'll have it later.
If you allow me, I'll ask one more question.
Okay.
Yeah, you said last session that plants also have lives, right?
Yes.
Yes. And we, for eating, we cut the plants.
Yes.
So, and some non-vegetarians, they eat non-veg.
Okay.
Why they are so bad? Then it's life, either
Very
a
good question.
bird or
Yeah, very good.
plant.
See, the whole world is designed by you, or me, or anybody here. God. God has designed. Now the world is designed, God explains, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Purana, Lord Krishna says, Jivo Jivasya Jivana. The world is designed in this fashion. One Jiva is dependent on another Jiva for its subsistence. This is how he has designed the thing. But then we have to ask him, okay, I have to depend on some Jiva, some other living being for my sustenance, existence. Then he has also told which kind of jivas you can depend on. So Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, he says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tat aham bhaktim upratam ashnami prayatapam. He says roots, flowers, fruits, milk and water. These are the things meant for human beings. You take them, I have given them in abundance. This is for your quota. Still there is sin. Then what do? We offer it to him. And he says, I take away the sin. Lovingly you offer to me because you have to survive for a noble purpose of worshipping me. Then I take away the sin. And that is sinless diet, which is technically called as prasad. So that prasad which you take here every time you all come is not just another food. It is offered to God. It is sinless, soul nourishing, body nourishing food. So yes, there is a sin involved, but we offer it to God, and He has now. You can't opt. Then we may say that okay, I do the same logic. I offer meat, machli, masam. He didn't say that. He prohibited. He has put prohibitions that you can't kill animals, because then why? See, in the evolution again, we are going to discuss elaborately on evolution next time. Darwin. So, according to Vedic understanding of evolution, it's an evolution of consciousness. So, trees are on the lowest platform. They don't have developed consciousness. Although they are living, there is a soul, but the consciousness is very low. When the consciousness is very low, the pain which they suffer is very minute when they are attacked or cut. Although there is some pain, they may go, but very compared to developed consciousness like animals. And the most developed is human consciousness. That's why killing a human is considered very ghastly. You can capital punishment for that. Right? So depending on the consciousness, the punishment is given. So God has allowed us to depend on trees and tree products. Right? So that's why that is allowed.
Sorry for extending question. As you said, plants and all, but now we are killing the bacteria and all for our health. Are we not murderers then?
If they are, no, we are allowed to kill anybody for that matter who poses a threat to your life, because this life is valuable. If it's an attacker, that is called as atatai or an aggressor, you can kill according to the law.
Can I add?
You want to add?
Can I add
Yes.
scientific reasons why we should be eating veg?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
because
That is also there.
Because I read somewhere that if you just observe the teeth structure of human
Yes.
beings, it's similar to cows, goats, and
Yes. Very good.
And second thing is, in carnivorous animals, if you see, small intestine is missing, which is there, small intestine and large intestine only in herbivores. So we have changed ourselves, but God has designed us to eat,
Yeah.
to be vegetarians.
So very good. God has designed like that. So sometime I will show you a PPT which will go on at least 2 hours. Why not eat meat? This is one of the arguments only. And I have at least there are 150 slides in that. Varieties of analysis. Whether are we herbivores or carnivores? We are not designed only, as very rightly Sir said. We are not designed like that by God. And He has also mentioned in the scriptures. And also we see a lot of, I'll add it to it, lot of this hunger problem. They say, okay, there is not enough land for cultivation. Actually, you see, for livestock cultivation, they use so much of land. I have the figures in that PPT. But if that is stopped, then Earth can actually feed 10 times more population than the current population. But because, so like Gandhiji said, there is enough in the world for everyone's need, but there is not enough for one man's greed. If you become greedy, there is not enough in this world. But if needful, God has given everything. But now we are doing some gabla and then we blame God that okay, there is not enough food. People are poverty stricken and all. He is not created that. We are blaming this. Like that we'll discuss sometime. Yes.
So one thing I'll add to that. So these people like the instance you mentioned about the 911 towers collapsed and maybe the other tsunami. So whoever died in that incident, it's not like they are all died. First of all, dying is not bad anything. So it's like whoever died in that situation, maybe going to the higher worlds, we don't know. So it's like all, in my opinion, whatever that created, it has to go and merge with God, right? Maybe some people merged with God. That's a good thing. But whatever the incident happened, we didn't see that everything is wrong. Like something is affected us. Like it may be like in a higher view of Lord, it's maybe something different. We should not interpret that. We cannot interpret it also.
Okay.
That's my.
Yeah, I agree partially. So we will again, we will discuss about this. Okay, yes. I mean, let's keep it to questions. Opinions will take some of the time. Let me request one thing. You please hear all this basic. A lot of interesting things are going to get covered, and it's a lot of wonderful knowledge and logic which is going to come. And you yourself will understand how this world is moving. Like you said earlier, what we can't understand, we can understand. God has given us full knowledge. We'll talk about it. You have to have some patience. We're just in the third session right now. So just some patience.
Yeah, Prabhuji, it's a basic question, but for this, I'll still ask. When everything is designed or by God, everything works on the principle of what, like, even I cannot decide whether I want to be engineer or doctor. It's all decided based on my past karma and whatsoever, right?
No. That you can decide. The intelligence is decided by God.
Okay, so that is where the question was, like, if when everything is decided, then why to do karma?
Very nice, very interesting
So,
question.
yeah.
See, not everything is decided. That's why I showed in that slide. Some things are you can choose. Did I say right? You can choose career, you can choose house, you can choose some. But some things are decided. Like for example, if you are to you took a ticket. Let's say you take a flight ticket from Hyderabad to Delhi. You booked a flight, you went to airport and you boarded the flight and flight has taken off. Now certain things are decided and certain things are not decided. Can you help me understand what is decided? Fixed. Flight is taken off towards Delhi. What is decided in this? The destination. You're going to go to Delhi. I mean, assuming there are no accidents and all that kind of stuff. Normal. Destination is decided. Maybe the flight time is decided. The facilities, which flight you have booked according to that, the facilities are decided. This is almost decided. You can't change much. What is not decided?
Somebody got into a medical
What will you do in the flight is not decided. You have 2 hours. Now you probably on one side you have a terrorist, on your other side you have a great saint, a philosopher, nice sadhu, or sadhu. You have a great businessman sitting next to you, a big businessman in Hyderabad. Now you are in between. You can decide. If you make friendship with a terrorist, when you get down in Delhi, you are going to join his organization. You make friends with that nice businessman and make him friend. By the time you get down, you get some good knowledge. It's going to help you. You're going to get benefited by that. You got the point? So this is an example. This is how life is. So life, a few parameters in life is decided. Intelligence is decided. But what do you do with that intelligence? Like somebody might have by destiny got very good intelligence, like IIT. The IITs are considered very intelligent, right? Now, what they do with that intelligence, like you might have read, some news came recently, some few IITs were arrested for some helping some terrorist organizations. It came in news in Kerala. Now there are IITs sitting here also. They all are from IIT Bombay. They graduated, they are working, some of them. So they also have intelligence they are using in noble cause of spreading God's mission. And they can also choose to use that intelligence in destroying the world. This is not decided. This is a choice. But how much intelligence can I become IIT and can somebody who is very poor in academics? No, that is decided. You understood? And the intelligence decided what do we do with that. Similarly, certain things, my body physics might be decided, but what do I do in life is not decided. So it's a combination of 2 things. There are predestined things and there are something which are not destined. This is a choice. So the scriptures, the code of conduct. Otherwise, if we are robots, everything is programmed. There is no point coming here discussing dharma, discussing scriptures. The God also to come here and give Bhagavad Gita, give Bhagavad makes no sense at all. Because it's all destined. No, it's all not destined. You do karma, you reap result, certain situation. Now, we may not be in good situation. Maybe because of some bad karma, one may be poor or one may have health problem or whatever. But now I can decide to be very good. I can do good karma. I can do bhakti. I can do service to God, service to humanity. Then I will get the result of that later. Okay? So, in short, not everything is decided. There is choice with us. There is a freedom. Limited freedom. Not unlimited freedom, but limited freedom within certain boundary we have been given. And how to use that freedom is what we need to learn from spirituality. That is why the scriptures are. That is why the discussions, the discourses. That is why we need spiritual intelligence. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for your time. One more hand is up. Should I? Okay, one short answer I will try to give. Yes. One last, and then we end with a small kirtan, and then we go for Prashad.
So there is a start point for all this. So when a creator has created this,
Okay, that's an interesting.
So-
Okay, understood.
that means
Yes.
there is nothing called karma or anything at that point of time.
Yeah.
So it's all this is all design.
Yes. Okay.
So why is it? So see at the beginning point,
Okay.
there's nothing there
Okay.
wrong or right or anything.
I will try to answer this question. Yet it will be more clear to you when we discuss about in a session ahead when we talk about something called a spiritual world. When we talk about that, it will be more clear to you. But I'll try.
Say point like why we got splitted into multiple souls and again nothing to the God again.
No, you're confusing. Wait, I'll keep this aside. See, this world is called as material world. Beyond this world, also there is something called a spiritual world, which is a spirit. We call it with the name Vaikuntha, Goloka. People have different ways of saying. Now we are also going to see whether such thing exists, what is it, where it is. ये सब भी हम लोग बात करेंगे. पूरा session इसके ऊपर है. There, in the spiritual world, there is no space and time. It's a higher dimensional world in the terms of science. Now here we know 3 basic dimensions and 4 from every time. But it is higher dimensional world where time does not have the effect what we see here. Time as beginning and end is only existing in this world. Now I know it is little difficult for us to comprehend in our brain a situation like this. So that's why like people ask this question: if God created everything, who created God? This question is illogical question because God by definition is the creator of everything. Janma yasya yataha. If somebody created God, then that creator is the God, not the created thing. Now how do we then we can't with our brain, if you tax it a lot, we can't think, yeah, but kabhi to piche jao. Somewhere God has to be created. No, He's eternal. That is the meaning of eternal, means He is never created. How do we perceive it? We are bound in this world of 4 dimensions where time has its effect as beginning and end. So we can't perceive. This is what scripture says. You can't understand with your few grams of brain matter a world which is beyond these dimensions, where there is no beginning and where there is no end, where there is no time only. That realm is called a spiritual realm where the spirit actually belongs to. And from there we come to this world because of certain reasons which we will talk about in that session. So the point you are saying, okay, where it all began? Nowhere. It was always there. That is what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Which is the verse. Natvevaham jatunatam natvam neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. So he's standing in the battlefield. There are this all kings on the other side and the kings on this side. Krishna says, Natvevaham jadunasam natvam neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah. There was no time when we did not exist. And there was no time when you did not exist, O Arjuna, I did not exist, and all these kings did not exist. There was no time like this. And there will be no time in future when any one of us will cease to be. He's talking about soul, definitely. Body will cease to exist. But on soul, as a soul, we will always be there. And we are always there, since that is called eternal. Anadi, anadi. Anadi means jiska adi nahi, jiska और अंत नहीं, अनादि and ananta. There is no end, there is no beginning. This is spiritual. Now I know with our, that's what scriptures also say, that with our limited senses, material senses, we can't perceive this. It's difficult. So we just have to trust some things. Like I told madam, that as we cannot find out the mosquito which bite you for malaria. You know malaria hai to medicine lo, get well and then do a research if required. So right now we are in a disease situation, we have come to this material existence. So scriptures say you take the medicine, when you go back there you will understand. It is like you fell in the river, in the well, somebody fell in the well, sorry not you, somebody fell in the well, dark well. And he is crying, बचाओ बचाओ बचाओ. तो कोई आता है ऊपर से रोप डालता है, रोप को पकड़ो, रस्सी पकड़ो, ऊपर आ जाओ. तो वो रस्सी क्या करना चाहिए, रस्सी पकड़ना चाहिए और आप ऊपर आ जाना. Then the person, if the person says नहीं नहीं पहले मुझे बताओ मैं गिरा कैसे. You first tell me how did I fell, how, when, what, who gave it. Then only I will hold the rope. Then that is foolishness. First hold the rope, come out, then you will understand how you fell. Similarly, for us in this conditioned situation, we can't understand about spiritual world much. So whatever we get knowledge from the scripture, we understand that. If we go back to that original situation, we'll understand that. That's all I can say. Hare Krishna. So thank you so much. Please fill your form and then I will pick Kirtan and then we'll discuss about this. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Any announcements? One of my good friend, today, he is a very good kirtan singer, so we'll have nice kirtan, or we have less time, 10 minutes only, and then we can go for person. Those who are getting late, can please proceed also now.